topic that we're going to be teaching today is the Holocaust. So I'm going to hand out some paper right now, and I want you guys to quickly jot down, try to answer these just with your prior knowledge, what you think the Holocaust is, and then what groups you think were targeted during the Holocaust. So here's some paper. So like I said, just go ahead and quickly jot down what you guys think this is, and then we're going to go over it. So I'll give you guys a minute or two to answer these. We should be doing this silently so that other people can focus on answering their questions. Alright, so as we guys are finishing up, let's just go ahead and start going with number one. So, what did everyone come up with? What did you guys come up with? Do you want to share what you got?
The mass collection and systematic extermination of certain groups.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Anyone else? What'd you get in the back? Me? Yeah, you.
The systematic extermination of ethnic and cultural minorities by Nazis in World War II.
Yeah, so I think we can all see that definitely it was a systematic killing. It was a systematic genocide of a couple different ethnic groups and culturally different people, like Brandon was saying right over here. So what the Holocaust really is during World War II, the Nazis from Germany decided to have what they called a final solution to the Jewish question in Europe, and decided to systematically try to exterminate all traces of the Jewish culture, and then a couple other ones. So, which leads us to our next one. What groups do you guys think were targeted? So, what do you guys get here? Jews, obviously. So, the Jews is the really big one that everyone knows. Everyone associates the Holocaust with the Jewish people. So Jewish. What do we think? What else?
Homosexuals.
Homosexuals, actually, yeah. So not a lot of people know that there were actually a lot of ethnic groups that were discriminated against, but they're also sexual orientation. So homosexuals were actually really heavily penalized for this as well. They were sent to concentration camps as workers, as well as to the death camps because they were seen unfit. So, what else?
Anyone who has special needs or disabilities?
Yeah, so definitely the people that had disabilities. So like we were saying right along with the homosexuals, they were viewed as people that were that were inferior to a normal person. So they were definitely sent also. These ones were actually, disabled people were actually sent mostly to death camps actually, because they couldn't really be used as work, as a as a labor force, so they were sent directly to the extermination camps around 1942. So, okay, so we got one more. What do you guys think?
Sympathizers with any of the above groups.
Yeah, and sympathizers often they were actually sent to not really concentration camps, but they were sent to more ghettos, which is where they were having the German workforce. But that's really good. Does anyone else have another guess?
African Americans?
African Americans? Actually, no. African Americans really weren't discriminated against during the Holocaust that much. Surprisingly, as it was a time that was. So, no, the one other really big group that was really discriminated against was actually the gypsies. So do you guys know what a gypsy is? So gypsy, it's not really a common term now. When we say gypsy, we mean, people that are, free spirits or whatever. But gypsies back in the day, gypsies back in the day were kind of nomads that were traveling around Europe a lot, and they were often seen as homeless people or, thieves. Gypsies were a really big thieving problem back in Europe at this time. So they were actually really heavily discriminated upon because if anyone was a gypsy, they were automatically assumed that they were a thief. And a thief was not someone you wanted in your perfect world, which is what the Nazis were trying to do. But yeah, good job, guys. You guys got all 4 of these. And like you said, the sympathizers actually, I guess they are the 5th supporters. But does anyone know what the major reason that we had, or there was concentration camps in the first place? No? So, actually, November 7th, 1938, there was a night called Kristallnacht, which is the Night of Broken Glass. So the Night of Broken Glass, 1938, way before even the start of World War II. But what this is that it's a night, a couple days before, a German diplomat actually was assassinated by a Jewish man, and the Nazi Party used this as kind of a leaping point for them to just attack all of the Jews. So in one city there was around 7,000 Jewish-owned businesses and homes that were destroyed. And it's called the Night of the Broken Glass because a lot of the windows were actually broken in by rocks. Everything was going wrong. And so this was just one of the first things that we see actually about the Holocaust. So from there, we see the establishment of ghettos during World War II. Does anyone know what the ghettos are? Besides,
Like a collection place where they could keep the groups before they knew where they should go or what skills they have so they could maybe use them.
Yeah. So the ghettos were established in their own city. So there was ghettos in Berlin, Munich, big cities, small cities all around. These were actually established before the invasion of Poland, which was the start of World War II. But these ghettos were the primary focus of these ghettos was to actually have a wartime effort for the Germans. So while the Jewish people were actually in prison, they were actually making, tanks, rifles, and things like that for the German army, which a lot of people don't know. They just think that they were prisoners. No, they actually used them as a workforce for the German effort, which is why when World War II started, the Germans were so well equipped already because they had already been stockpiling all this equipment and stuff. So from there, we do see things that are also going on at the same time. So obviously the start of World War II, which, as we all know, started World War II, terrible. Germany invaded Poland. So in September of 1939, Germany invaded Poland. So Germany invaded Poland September of 1939, and actually Poland had a population of around 3 million Jews, or 9% of their entire population was Jewish people. And the Germans saw a really big problem with this. They had been dealing with the Jewish people in their own place, or in their own country already. They thought it was going pretty well so far, but then they realized that they actually had too many people to fit in the ghettos, especially. So we see the establishment of concentration camps. Does anyone know what a concentration camp is?
Nasty, horrible place.
A nasty, horrible place. That's not far off. So what is the primary focus of a concentration camp? Someone just shout a random answer.
Keep people in one place.
Keep people in one place, yes. So a really big common misconception was that concentration camps were actually established to kill Jewish people. That's not true. While the death rate was around 50%, that's due to fatigue and malnourishment from working long days and not getting enough food and enough sleep, and diseases because of overcrowding. But concentration camps were actually not fully utilized as a killing area for Jewish people. They were just used as kind of a displacement. So from there, we actually see that they eventually run out of space. Once again, just like everyone moving from the grottos to concentration camps, the concentration camps get overcrowded, too many people there. So in 1942, they start using them as areas for mass murder. So this is actually what the Nazis came up with the final solution. So the final solution for the Nazis was that the mass extermination of the Jewish population was for the benefit of the entire world. So in 1942, they decided to set up all these concentration camps. There was actually 6 designated extermination camps, and these extermination camps use everything from nerve gas to firing squads, hanging. In all, 6 million Jews by the end were actually killed. So that's just Jewish population, and when you guys remember that I just said that Poland had a population of 3 million Jews, I mean, twice that many died in the entire Holocaust. So 2 countries worth of Jews basically just disappeared within 4 years. Now the total amount of people that died in the concentration camps throughout the war effort were actually 11 million. So on top of the 6 million, we have another 5 million of all these other categories that also suffered. And a lot of the times, I like to bring this up just because a lot of the times people don't really think about this. They just only see this one aspect as because I mean, yes, this was very important, but we also do have to remember these people as well, because just as many as them lost their lives as well. Also at the same time, as all of these are going on, another part of the Holocaust that was going on was called death squads. So when Germany invaded the Soviet Union, we have people that are actually volunteering. They're volunteering, raising their hand in their own village to say that they're willing to participate in public and executions of these Jewish people. So that's truly horrifying. So as they get more and more into the Soviet Union, more and more people are turning against their neighbors and taking them into the town square and killing them. Which basically, let's say if you guys walk down to the Cirque one day,